Dating can feel like walking through a minefield wearing clown shoes in the dark. One wrong step and boom, ghosted. Or worse, you end up on a 3-hour date with someone who passionately believes the moon is fake. But here's the thing. Most of us focus on what we say or do on dates, what to wear, what to text, where to meet. And sure, those things matter, but they're not what's driving your results. What's actually sabotaging or accelerating your dating life isn't out there. It's in here, your mindset. And no, this isn't another just be confident speech. This is about rewiring the way you think about dating at the core level, the thoughts and beliefs that are quietly but powerfully shaping every interaction. Because once you shift your mindset, everything changes. The anxiety fades, the games stop, and suddenly you're not chasing dates, they're coming to you. So let's talk about the mindset shifts that can instantly transform your dating life. The kind that doesn't just get you more dates, but better ones, deeper ones. The kind where you stop settling, stop stressing, and finally start enjoying the process. It all starts with the first shift. Stop trying to be chosen. Start choosing. Most people enter dating like a contestant on a game show. Pick me, choose me, love me. They adjust, they bend, they contort themselves into what they think the other person wants, and they call it chemistry. But here's the truth. When you approach dating trying to be chosen, you hand over your power. You're not dating with intention, you're auditioning for approval. That's not attractive. It's not even real. Shift into the mindset of being the chooser. That doesn't mean arrogance. It means knowing your standards. It means observing someone on a date and asking, do I even like this person, instead of do they like me? When you shift from performer to observer, your energy changes. You stop trying to impress and start being present. And presence is magnetic. This brings us to the next shift. Rejection isn't personal, it's direction. Rejection stings, whether it's a text left unread, a date who cancels last minute, or someone who says they're not ready for a relationship, right after 3 weeks of consistent flirting. Ouch. But rejection only hurts as much as you personalize it. And most of the time, it's not about you. It's about timing, chemistry, compatibility, or even the other person's baggage that has nothing to do with your worth. The shift here is this. Instead of seeing rejection as proof of inadequacy, see it as redirection. Every no clears the path for a better yes. Every ghost is one less person draining your energy. Every mismatch saves you from wasting time on something misaligned. You're not being rejected, you're being rerouted. Now, here's a powerful shift that most people resist because they confuse it with weakness. Vulnerability is strength. We live in a world that rewards the cool, the detached, the unbothered. Everyone's playing it chill, texting with 5-hour delays, hiding their real feelings, pretending they're too busy to care. But the truth is, deep down, we all crave realness, connection, emotional honesty. And yet we're terrified of being the first to show it. The mindset shift? Vulnerability isn't risky, it's a filter. When you show up authentically, emotionally open, you repel the emotionally unavailable. You attract those who are ready, those who are safe. Vulnerability isn't saying I love you on the second date. It's saying, this is me, this is what I want, and I'm not afraid to walk away if I'm not getting it. It's scary, sure, but it's the only path to something real. Another shift that changes everything is this. Stop seeing dating as performance. Start seeing it as data. If you treat every date like a test you have to pass, dating becomes exhausting. You overanalyze every detail. You obsess over responses. You turn the whole process into an emotional roller coaster. But what if, instead of performing, you simply collected data? What if every date was an experiment, a way to learn more about yourself, about others, about what you want? That one conversation that bored you to death? Data. That date where you realized you hate small talk in loud bars? Data. That gut feeling you ignored and then regretted? Also data. You're not failing. You're gathering information. You're refining your filters. You're getting closer to clarity. Once you shift into this mindset, you stop wasting energy on dead ends. You stop taking things so personally. You become a scientist in your own love life. Curious, resilient, and sharp. And speaking of energy, here's another mindset change that might surprise you. Neediness isn't about how much you like someone, it's about how much you like yourself. People often think they're being too much because they text first, or because they want clarity, or because they miss someone. But true neediness doesn't come from action. It comes from mindset, specifically, the belief that you're not enough unless someone validates you. That's why confident people can be expressive, affectionate, even a little eager, and still be seen as attractive, because their actions come from a place of fullness, not emptiness. When you like yourself, you don't need someone to respond a certain way to feel okay. You can want them, but your identity doesn't crumble if they don't want you back. The shift is this: stop managing how others perceive you. Start managing how you value yourself. Now, let's talk about one of the most important yet most overlooked shifts. Compatibility is not chemistry. That electric feeling, the butterflies, the magnetic pull that feels like fate, it might not be a sign of the one. It might just be your nervous system reacting to old patterns. Maybe it's the thrill of uncertainty, or the excitement of being seen by someone who reminds you of a past you're still healing from. Chemistry is not always healthy. It's not always mutual, and it's definitely not always sustainable. Compatibility, on the other hand, is calm. It feels safe. It feels like being seen without having to perform. The shift? Stop chasing sparks. Start looking for alignment. That doesn't mean you settle for boring. It means you start valuing the things that last. Shared values, emotional safety, communication, life goals. Because butterflies fade. But respect, trust, and connection, that's what love is built on. Because let's face it, if chemistry alone were enough, every high school relationship would have lasted forever. And half of us wouldn't have dated someone just because they looked like they owned a motorcycle, even when it turned out to be a scooter. This next shift might be uncomfortable, but it's essential. Stop looking for someone to complete you. Start looking for someone to complement you. That whole "you complete me" narrative, it's romantic in movies, but in real life, it's a setup for codependency. No one should be your missing piece. You're already whole. The right partner doesn't fill a void. They expand your life. They enhance what's already there. When you believe you need someone to make you feel worthy, you're vulnerable to manipulation, to staying in bad situations, to losing yourself in relationships. But when you see yourself as whole, love becomes a choice, not a need. A partnership, not a rescue mission. This shift creates relationships based on mutual respect, not desperation. Your worth isn't determined by your relationship status. This is big because society, and sometimes even our own families, can make us feel like being single is a problem to fix. But singleness isn't failure. It's not a gap in your life. It's a chapter. Sometimes it's the most powerful one. When you internalize the belief that love is a reward for being good enough, you start chasing validation. You tolerate bad behavior. You cling to what isn't working. But when you know your worth, whether you're single, dating, or in a relationship, you stop settling. You raise your standards. You date from a place of abundance, not lack. Because here's the truth. You don't find love to feel valuable. You find love when you already know you are.